the Philadelphia Eagles, hoping to keep their spot atop the NFC East, vying for the number 1 seed, are hosting their Pennsylvania rivals from across the turnpike, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have their own playoff implications. A win today, and they are in. The Philadelphia Eagles are playing in the Pennsylvania Bowl, which happens once every 4 years. These two teams, which a long time ago during World War II were once merged, now playing each other opposite the field. The Philadelphia Eagles hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers in America's Game of the Week. Welcome to Bird's Nest Media's live coverage of this game. I'm Joe Donahue. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're new here, definitely feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Yeah, so this is going to be a interesting game. The Philadelphia Eagles initially had an opportunity going into today to clinch the NFC East. That actually would have required the Philadelphia Eagles to win, as well as they needed help from the New Orleans Saints. The Saints had to defeat the Washington Commanders. That did not happen in the early block. So the Saints marched down the field. They got a touchdown to end the game, but they were unsuccessful on the 2-point conversion. If the Saints had done that, the Eagles would have had a chance to clinch the NFC East. But unfortunately, that did not happen today. So the Eagles will still be playing to stay in contention for that. The NFC East still officially up for grabs, but a win today definitely makes that a lot less likely for this or for any other team, because the Eagles close out the season. This is the last non-divisional opponent that the Eagles will have to play. And the Eagles will play next week in Washington. So the Eagles will not be, this is the third to last home game for the Eagles. The Eagles will play their final away game next week against the Commanders. But yeah, they will be playing obviously today is the more important game, because you take it one game at a time, and this Philadelphia Eagles team is doing that. I know there was a little bit of a kerfuffle following the game with regard to Brandon Graham making some comments. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown had some comments. Everything seems to have worked out, and again, winning tends to resolve a lot of issues. But all that having been said, the important factor here is that the Philadelphia Eagles are, again, they're playing as a unit. They're cooking. They've been cooking over these last several weeks. The Eagles are undefeated in the Baldiani era. Bald Nick Sirianni is what that alludes to. So that's where things stand. The Eagles are also hoping to defeat Russell Wilson for the first time in his career. The Eagles have not done that ever in Russell Wilson's career, whereas the Steelers have not won in Philadelphia since 1965. So definitely pre-vet. So definitely something to be aware of. This is also going to be the first game under the new ownership that was approved earlier today. So Jeffrey Lurie, still the controlling owner of the team, but the Eagles did acquire 2 new minority owners. So those folks will be, the Eagles are still under that. So just some Eagles developments that occurred throughout the week. When it comes to players, in a particular way, when it comes to inactive players. So I'm just pulling up the inactives list now. I saw it come out at 3 o'clock. There were no major names of concern. Britton Covey is probably the biggest one. Just bear with me one moment. I'm just grabbing that inactive list that was released shortly before 3 o'clock today. As the Eagles take the field, they're getting ready. All right, yeah. So the Eagles inactives. Tanner McKee is obviously going to be the emergency third string quarterback. Then you have Britton Covey, Eli Ricks, Nick Gates, Darian Kinnard, and Trevor Keegan. So Johnny Wilson is active. So just something to be mindful of there. We are just about 4 minutes away from kickoff. This is, again, the Pennsylvania Bowl, so it's very fitting that they're running the Pennsylvania lottery ads, the best wishes from the lottery caroling advertisement, one of the most iconic Pennsylvania ads. Quick run through of the early block games of the day. So the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Carolina Panthers 30-14. Micah Parsons was able to sack Bryce Young twice, so that does up his career average to 8.5. Kansas City pounded Cleveland 21-7. Houston held on to defeat Miami 20-12. The New York Jets defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars 32-25. As we alluded to in the outset of this live stream here, the Washington Commanders defeated the New Orleans Saints 20-19. The Baltimore Ravens defeated the New York Giants 35-14. The New York Giants now have 9 consecutive losses. They've long since been eliminated from the playoffs. The Baltimore, and then the last game of the early block, the Cincinnati Bengals defeated the Tennessee Titans 37-27. The Los Angeles Rams defeated the San Francisco 49ers on Thursday Night Football in a game that did, in fact, occur. So we're just going to take a quick look before we do everything here. Also, in the fun fact in the pregame, Brandon Graham came up and strip sacked Tom Brady again while Brady was on the sidelines doing some pregame prep. So we're taking a quick look here at the playoff picture as it stands right now following the early block. So Detroit still ahead. Detroit owns the NFC North with a 12-1 record. Eagles are 11-2 right behind them. The Seattle Seahawks are 8-5. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 7-6. The Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay Packers, as well as the Washington Commanders, are all currently the wild card teams, with a few other teams still on the bubble, notably the Rams, the Falcons, the Cardinals, 49ers, Cowboys, New Orleans, all still on the outside. Those would be on the outside looking in if the playoffs ended right now. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they have a chance to clinch today. This is a win and in game for them, so they have the chance to clinch to punch their ticket to the playoffs. The Buffalo Bills, we are going to keep our eyes on the Bills-Lions game because that game is happening during the 5 o'clock or during the late game block. So just something to be mindful of in that regard as the teams get going here. Sorry, folks. Alrighty, and we are just we're about couple of moments away from kickoff here. Kickoff was scheduled for 4:25. Again, we are keeping our eye. I will provide you updates through the game as well of some of the other games, especially as they relate to the Lions-Bills game, because that game is important for us. Eagles won the toss and deferred, so they're going to kick this away, and the Steelers are going to field it in the end zone. They're going to bring it out to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, up to the 25, up to the 30. So about a 33-yard return. Gets up to the 31-yard line officially, and that is where Russell Wilson and the Steelers will take over. And we have an injured Eagle already, so that's not good. Who is it? Sidney Brown, so... laying on the ground there. It looks like there was a little bit of helmet-to-helmet contact there, so I don't like the looks of this here. 5 seconds in, and we already have an injury. We're in an injury timeout right now as things are moving through here. Yeah, so already not off to a great start. Yeah, but it was definitely an interesting early block of games. It was definitely not... I mean, the Jets have been the topic of conversation, but certainly certainly their defeat of the Jaguars is something. It's definitely disappointing to see them fall from grace, so to speak. They definitely had high expectations for this season. But yeah, it was also disappointing that, and it was also disappointing seeing the Saints not be able to convert on the 2-point conversion. The Saints marched down the field in the final 2 minutes. They scored a touchdown. A point after would have tied the game, but instead they went for the 2-point conversion. And unfortunately, the Saints quarterback threw it into double coverage, and they were unable to convert. So that's how that game ended. That was certainly the most important game for the Eagles of the early block. So now the Eagles, if the Eagles win today, the Eagles still have a good shot at clinching next week. Obviously, if the Eagles defeat the Commanders next week, they will have clinched the NFC East. But the Eagles do still have a really solid shot at the number 1 seed. We are in an injury timeout right now, so if you're just joining us, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. Yeah, Sidney Brown going into the medical tent. We are coming back from that injury timeout now. We've got Wilson lining up under center. We've got a back in the backfield. We've got a man going in motion. Now it's I formation. Wilson takes a snap, quick pitch, and that's going to be stopped at about the line of scrimmage, maybe a 1-yard pickup. So that's going to bring up, they're actually going to credit him up to the 33, so it's going to be 2nd and 8 for the Steelers. So Russell Wilson is 6-0 against the Eagles. Eagles looking for their first win against them. 14:26 left to play in the first quarter here. Wilson in the gun, back to his left, takes a snap. Quick throw over, caught by right around the line of scrimmage. Picks up maybe a yard there, and that goes Freiermuth. Brought down by Zach Baun there on that. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down and long. So 3rd and long for the Steelers. And Russ is going to line up in the gun. We've got a back to his left. Man going in motion to the far side. Steelers moving from north to south. Steelers take the snap. Back, looking, throwing deep. Has a man and overthrows him incomplete. He was looking for Jefferson. That would be Van Jefferson. And could not connect with him. He was pretty well covered there too. So the Eagles defense starts off with a 3-and-out, and the Steelers will go ahead and punt this away on a 4th and 7. So we will see punter Chris Boswell on to give this the boot. Cooper DeJean back to return. And that's going to take an Eagles bounce up to about the 29-yard line, and that is where it's going to get downed by the Steelers. So the Eagles will take over. Again, hope you guys are having a great day, great game, or great Sunday afternoon. Bunch of good games over the course of today. If you like high-scoring games, you liked the Cincinnati-Tennessee game. That was a 37-27 final score. Definitely the highest scoring game of the early block. So now we've got Jalen Hurts lining up in the gun. We have an empty backfield. Don't like this. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking, has some time, throwing, caught by Grant Calcaterra, and that is going to be across midfield for a Eagles first down. Gets up to the Steelers 48. So one play picks up 22 yards for the Eagles, which, I mean, again, like that's good. I just would have liked to see us start with a run play. But Grant Calcaterra had his first NFL touchdown last week. Now we have Hurts in the gun. Saquon to his left. Devontae Smith wide out to the near side. A.J. Brown wide out to the far side. Play clock is winding down. Hurts calls for the football. He's back. He's looking. He's going to throw to A.J. Brown and is going to get up to about the 41-yard line. So that's going to bring up a second down in a short situation. Second and 3 to be precise. Gets up to the 41. 7-yard pickup brought down by Porter. So now we have Hurts in the gun. Again, an empty backfield. Saquon wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking, throws, caught over the middle. Goes Devontae Smith down inside the 25, down to the 20-yard line. That is an Eagles first down. So it is 1st and 10 now for the Eagles, and they get into the red zone. We have about 12 minutes left to play in this first quarter. 3 plays in, we've already moved 50 yards. Hurts is in the gun. We've got Saquon to his left. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Saquon. Saquon's going to do some bouncing, but he's going to lose a yard on this one. No worries. They're actually going to say no gain for him, so they're going to credit him officially up to the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation, but I think it's going to be a long 2nd and 10. Brought down by number 90 of the Steelers, which would be T.J. Watt. So now we have Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Hurts takes a snap. Back, looking, throwing. Caught by Devontae Smith again. He's going to get hit immediately, so it's not going to be a super big pickup. It is going to bring up a 3rd and long situation. It's going to be about 3 yards. Sidney Brown is questionable to return to the game after being injured on the kickoff. We are approaching the 11-minute mark, and we just hit the 11-minute mark in this first quarter here. Hurts is in the gun. We've got Saquon to his left. It is 3rd and 7, so we have a 3rd and long for the Eagles. Play clock is winding down. A.J. Brown in motion. Hurts takes the snap. Back, pressure coming. Hurts going to try to escape and is barely able to get back up to the line of scrimmage. Picks up a yard. So it is about positive yardage there, but that is going to bring up 4th down. And we will probably see the field goal unit on, and hopefully Jake Elliott is back on his game after having a little bit of a rough week last week. Missing a number of kicks. They are going to line up the field goal unit. Jake Elliott. Braden Mann, the holder. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is right down the middle and good. With 9 minutes and 56 seconds left to play in this first quarter, the Philadelphia Eagles draw first blood. It is the Eagles 3, the Steelers zilch. So, again, pretty good drive. It was a 7-play, 54-yard drive. Took 3 minutes and 33 seconds. Kind of sputtered at the end there, but ultimately the Eagles were able to come away with points for this. So that is important here in these early drives. Would have been great to get to extend that to get the touchdown. Quick check around the league right now. There are 4 other games going on. So it's scoreless in Arizona. New England versus the Cardinals, 0-all there. Indianapolis is on top of the Denver Broncos, 7-0. The Steelers are reliant on that game. So if the Steelers lose today, since Miami lost earlier, the Colts also need to lose for the Steelers to make the playoffs this week. Buffalo did score a touchdown against Detroit, so it is 7-0 over there with about 10:56 left in the first quarter in that game. That is a very important game for us, so we'll be providing updates. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on top of the LA Chargers right now, 7-0 midway through the first quarter in that game. Just a couple of notes here. So, the Steelers are the number 9 rushing offense in the league. The Steelers are also the number 4 rushing defense in the league. So it will be a little bit more of a challenge for this Eagles team to run the ball with Saquon. Conversely, they are the number 18 pass defense in the league. So that might influence it a little bit here. And that's all heading into this game. Braden Mann on to kick this away. That's going to get fielded a yard shy in the end zone, and it's going to get brought out to about the 30 up to the 32. So that is where the Steelers will take over. It's a 32-yard return for the Steelers. So we have Russ under center. We have a back in the backfield. We have a man in motion. 9:50 left in this first quarter here. Russ takes the snap, dumps it off, and that's going to get nowhere, really. Picks up about a yard. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 9. They'll actually credit him up to the 34, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 8. And that is Najee Harris, the running back. So 2nd and 8. Russ under center. I formation. Russ takes the snap. Hands it off to Harris. Harris is going to get up to the line of scrimmage. And again, doesn't really get a whole lot. Maybe a yard or 2. They will say that forward progress stopped at the 34. So it is going to be a 3rd and 8 situation. Eagles defense here faced with another 3rd and long situation here. Third downs are critical downs for this team right now. Got to get off the field. Wilson in the gun, back to his left. Play clock is winding down. Wilson takes a snap. Back, looking, and does a quick throw, and it's tipped at the line and incomplete. Tipped at the line, incomplete. Darius Slay thought he had a chance at it, but nope. And that is going to bring up fourth down. So another 3 and out for this Steelers team, and already I like how this Eagles team is playing compared to the Panthers. Steelers on to punt it away. Cooper DeJean is going to field it, and he fields it at the 19, and is only able to get up to about the 22 before he's pushed out of bounds. So that is where the Eagles will take over. They're only going to credit them up to the 21. So we have 8:19 left to play in this first quarter. Eagles about to start their second drive after forcing a couple quick 3 and outs. Eagles still the number 1 defense in the league in terms of total yards following their recent games. They are the number 8 run defense in the league. So the Eagles' run defense is averaging about 105.8 rushing yards per game. So they are actually a little bit worse of a run defense than the Steelers, but the Eagles are the number 1 overall defense in terms of total yards allowed. The Eagles have allowed, on average, just 284.2 total offensive yards per game. The next team on that list, by the way, is Tennessee. So this will be a battle of the defenses here. Checking in around the league. Again, the most important game right now for the Eagles outside of this game is the Bills-Lions game. The Eagles fans should be rooting for the Bills because the Eagles need the Lions to lose a couple of games here. And right now it is 7-0 over there in Detroit. The Lions just wrapped up a drive. A 5-play, 3-yard drive, so a whole lot of nothing there. So the Bills have the ball over there. If you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. We are coming back from commercial. Sidney Brown has been downgraded to out of this game following following the injury on the opening kickoff. So we have Jalen Hurts lining up. We have a pistol formation here. Saquon Barkley behind him. Devontae Smith in motion, takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to pick up a good chunk here. That's his longest run so far this game. It's going to get up to about the 29-yard line there. So it will bring up a second down and short. We are inside of 8 minutes left to go in this first quarter here. Hurts is in the gun. We have a back to his left. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley, who's going to get dropped in the backfield. Lose a bunch there. That's going to bring up 3rd and 5. It's actually only going to be 3rd and 4. They're going to credit them up to the 27-yard line. So it is a loss of 2, though. It's still 3rd and short. So now we have Hurts in the gun. We have Kenny Gainwell in the game right now. Devontae Smith wide out to the near side. Eagles going from south to north in Lincoln Financial Field. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, pressure coming. Hurts is going to throw, gets Kenny Gainwell behind the line of scrimmage. Gainwell picks up a first down, gets up to about the 38-yard line before he's brought down. But that's a big first down. That keeps this drive going for the Philadelphia Eagles. So now we have Hurts in the gun. We have a back to his right. Man in motion. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off, and that's going to get up to about the 40 to the 42-yard line goes Gainwell. That's going to bring up 2nd and 5 for the Eagles. So the Eagles going back to what's worked earlier in the season with the run game. So now we have Hurts in the gun. He's flanked by backs. Devontae Smith goes in motion. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Gainwell, who's going to bounce to the near side. Not going to pick up a bunch there. Only gets a couple. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 situation, actually. So they're only crediting him a yard. Brought down by Patrick Queen. We are inside the 6-minute mark, probably approaching the 5-minute mark by the time that this ball gets snapped here. Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Now back to his left. Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's going to take it himself. He is going to run towards the near side, breaks a tackle, and is going to fumble. He's going to fumble, recovered by the Eagles, or recovered by the Steelers. So Hurts turns this one over. That is not a good thing to do with this here. Yep, that ball is out, and the Steelers very clearly fall on top of it. Not the way you want your second drive of the game to end, folks. 5:06 left in the first quarter here. The Steelers are taking over in Eagles territory, and with the momentum now following the turnover. That's just Jalen Hurts' 3rd turnover that he's responsible for since the bye. So the ball's on the Eagles' 45-yard line. We have Russ in the gun back to his right. Russ takes a snap, fakes the handoff, pressure coming. Russ is going to dump it away. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Nolan Smith was gunning for him. So now Russ back in the gun, back to his right. Wilson takes a snap. He's back, he's looking, he's throwing. It is tipped at the line and incomplete again. So that's 2 now tips at the line. Looking for Mike Williams, and it was tipped by Milton Williams of no relation. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. We are inside of the 5-minute mark here in this first quarter. Eagles need a big 3rd down stop. Wilson in the gun, back to his right. Play clock is winding down. Wilson takes a snap. He's back. Pressure's coming. Wilson is going to get sacked. Back in Eagles territory. He's hit, and that's a big sack for Josh Sweat. And the Eagles force another 3 and out. So the Eagles defense rising to the occasion, keeping the Steelers from getting anything going even following the turnover. It's a loss of 11 on that play. Brings up 4th and 21 and will indubitably send the punt unit on. And that is, in fact, what happens. DeJean Fields inside the 10, going to get brought out to the 16, and now this is bad. Because DeJean fumbles on the return, and the Steelers recover inside the 10-yard line. Obviously, we're going to take a look at this one again here. Make sure that ball is, in fact... Yep, that ball is live, and the Steelers recover. So that is now 2 turnovers for the Eagles in the first quarter of this game. And that negates the Eagles' defense. 3 and out. It is 1st and 10 at the 11, so the Steelers will get the ball at the Eagles' 11-yard line. This is disastrous for the Eagles right now. Wilson is in the gun. We have a back to his right. That would be Najee Harris. Wilson takes a snap. Quick throw to Harris. Harris going to roll to the outside, going to leap over some Eagles players. Gets down inside the 5, down to about the 3. They will spot it at the 4-yard line. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 3. And now we have our first flags of this game. Because there is a scuffle back in the back of the back behind the end zone. So we will hear from the officiating crew, which is led by Alan Eck, the umpire Tab Slaughter, down judge Derek Bowers, line judge Derek Anderson, field judge John Jenkins, side judge Dale Shaw, back judge Greg Meyer. The replay official is Joe Wolin, and the replay assistant is Larry Hansen. Referee Alan Eck will give us what's going on here. Looks like there was some shoving there following the game, or following the play. Looks like Quinyon Mitchell got shoved into into the back thing there. We'll see how this impacts the players. That flag was thrown pretty quickly. The officials do have to sort this whole operation out. Understandably emotional for the defense. Defense thought they had him on a 3 and out, and now they're due to a special teams mistake. The emotion's definitely running high. So they're going to get the Steelers twice for unnecessary roughness. Obviously only once. So they're going to call... so they get Austin. Calvin Austin III, wide receiver. As well as Darnell Washington. They get him for unnecessary roughness as well. Both of those, they... I mean, they can only enforce one penalty. So they're going to enforce the one on Austin. So, it's 2nd and 18 following the unnecessary roughness. Wilson in the gun. We have an empty backfield. Wilson takes a snap, quick throw, and that is going to be caught. Not a whole lot of gain there on that one. That's going to be caught by number 13, which is Miller. Scotty Miller. Yeah, that kind of looks like a catch there. All right, 3rd and 15. So it's still 3rd down, 2 sticks. Eagles defense in a position they need to keep. It is possible for the... all right, it looks like there's going to be something going on here. Nah, they did replay assist, so it is now an incomplete pass. So it's 3rd and 18 now. So 3rd and 18, Wilson in the gun, back to his left. 3:50 left in the first quarter. Wilson takes a snap, back, looking, pressure coming. Wilson throwing across toward the end zone, incomplete. Whole lot of nothing there. There was pressure. I wouldn't be surprised if they talk about grounding on that. But they will not call. It does not look like they're going to call grounding. So Chris Boswell is going to be on to attempt a 37-yard field goal. Snap, hold, kick is up. And it is good. So a disastrous first quarter for the Eagles. But they're able to survive with just a field goal. Or giving up just a field goal. 3:42 left in the first quarter, and we're tied up in Philly. 3-all. So yeah, that was a rough sequence of events there, because the Steelers. So Jalen Hurts turning the ball over, not great, but it was definitely. I mean, not great. Still turned the ball over in Eagles territory. Steelers recovered. The Eagles defense gave them a hard time. 3 and out. Steelers pumped the ball, and then Cooper DeJean fumbles on the return, and that's how we got to where we are now. So Steelers still held to just 3 plays, which again, mad props to the defense on that. They rose to the occasion, as they have done over the course of these last several weeks. And the Steelers just kicked a field goal, so it is 3-all. That's where things stand. Quick check of scores around the league. Again, the most important game for the Eagles right now is the Buffalo Bills versus Detroit Lions game. The Bills are on top of the Lions. That game just entered in the second quarter. It is 14-0 in favor of the Buffalo Bills. The Lions, however, have the ball in Buffalo territory. It is 1st and 10 for the Lions at the Bills' 26-yard line. So I imagine this will not be a scoreless game for long. Other games going on, there are 3. It is tied up in Los Angeles as the Los Angeles Chargers host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It is 7-all over there. That game is in the second quarter. Indianapolis is on top of the Denver Broncos right now, 10-0. That game is important for the Steelers, because if the Steelers happen to lose today's game, if the Indianapolis Colts lose, then because Miami also lost, the Steelers will have their ticket to the playoffs punched this week. And then over in Arizona, the Arizona Cardinals are on top of the New England Patriots, 10-0. That game is still in the first quarter. We are coming back from the commercial break, so the Steelers are going to be kicking this away. Eagles have to hold on to the football. That is goal number 1 going forward. No more turnovers. The Eagles already have 2. All right, and that kick is away, and that's going to get down in the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles will take over at their own 30. The Eagles have had three total turnovers over the course of the last 9 games going into this game. They now have 2 this game. But the Eagles have significantly more offensive yards so far. So the Eagles trying to bounce back from their last drive, which ended in the Jalen Hurts fumble. Hurts is in the gun. We've got Barkley to his left. Hurts takes a snap, fakes to Barkley, and then throws to A.J. Brown, who's got the first down, then a bunch more. Gets up to about the 46-yard line before he is forced out of bounds. That's where the Eagles will get their first down. So it is 1st and 10 for the Eagles off of a 16-yard pickup. So now we have Hurts in the gun. We have an empty backfield. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking, throwing, and that is caught A.J. Brown down in Steelers territory. It's a big first down for the Eagles as the Eagles keeping this moving. We are approaching the 3-minute mark here of this first quarter. Ball's on the Steelers' 34-yard line. So now we have Hurts in the gun. Back to his right. That would be Barkley. Calcaterra in motion. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to, fakes to Barkley, keeps it himself, and he's going to slide. He learns, slides at the 26-yard line. So they'll say the slide started at the 27, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 3 for the Eagles. It is a 7-yard pickup. That A.J. Brown pickup was 20 yards on the play before the Jalen Hurts run. Now we have Hurts in the gun, Barkley lining up to his right. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley has a lane, gets inside the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10. Inside the 5-yard line goes Saquon Barkley. And we are approaching the 2-minute mark of this first quarter here. It is 1st and goal for the Eagles at the 5-yard line. That was a 22-yard run for Saquon Barkley, brought down by Highsmith on that. But he had a big lane. Highsmith saving a touchdown. So Hurts in the gun, Barkley to his left. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley's going to get to the line of scrimmage and no further. Brought down by Minkah Fitzpatrick. So that'll bring up 2nd and goal for the Eagles. We have Hurts lining up in the gun. Barkley to his left. A.J. Brown wide out to the far side. Hurts takes a snap, fakes to Barkley, throws. A.J. Brown, touchdown Eagles. A.J. Brown across the middle for the touchdown. And the Eagles have the first end zone sighting of this game. It is 9-3 in favor of our boys in green. Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it is good. Narrowly good, but good. So we have 1:13 left to play in the first quarter of this game, and the Eagles are on top again, 10-3. So Eagles offense bouncing back quickly, following the turnover on the turnover on their last drive. Responding with a 6-play, 70-yard drive, taking 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Quick update, again, as I alluded to, most important game right now that's happening in this 4 o'clock time slot is the Buffalo Bills-Detroit Lions game. It is 14-7 over there. After the Lions just scored a touchdown off of a Jared Goff pass. So things are churning over there. As I suspected, it wasn't going to be a scoreless game for long, but Buffalo right now holds the lead. Again, the Eagles are Bills fans today. The Eagles need to have the Bills win in order to keep their hopes, and the Eagles need to win in order to keep their hopes alive for the number 1 seed with just a couple of games left in this regular season. Eagles hoping for 2 losses by the Lions. Eagles also hoping for a loss by the Vikings to try to keep them at bay as well from that number 1 seed, because right now the Vikings are 11-2. They will play the Chicago Bears tomorrow night in a game that nobody's going to want to watch, and in a game that the Vikings are heavily favored to win. We have 73 seconds left to play in the first quarter. We're still in the commercial break. Again, touchdown on a crossing route. Big fan of that. A.J. Brown was, again, just in the crossing route. And it was a good little bit of trickery there for the Eagles, faking the handoff to Saquon before dumping it off to Barkley across the middle. So, again, just a good play design on that touchdown pass. Not something we would have seen last year. Braden Mann kicks this one into the end zone. And that is where it's going to get downed. So the Steelers will take over at their own 30. Which is just statistically, not by much, but it is the worst starting field position the Steelers have had so far this game. So now we have Russ under center. We've got a back in the backfield. Wilson sends a man in motion. I formation now. Takes the snap, dumps it off, and right up to the line of scrimmage and no farther. Maybe a yard farther. Goes Jaylen Warren as the running back. So it is 2nd and 9 following that. We are inside of the minute mark, so we'll probably only see maybe one more play in this first quarter here. So Wilson under center, Warren deep in the backfield. Man going in motion. Wilson takes a snap, hands it off, and that's going to be about a 5-yard pickup. We do have a flag down, so we're going to check on that flag. Clock stops with 28 seconds left, so we will see one more play in the first quarter. Checking in with referee Alan Eck. They're going to get illegal motion. They're going to call that on Van Jefferson. So that will march the Steelers back 5 yards, negates the run. It would have been a 4-yard pickup for Warren, but instead it's going to be 2nd down and 2 sticks. Now we have Russ in the gun, back to his left. Russ takes the snap. Back, looking, throwing, caught across the middle goes Warren, and that's going to be getting up to about the 35, 36-yard line. Again, we do have another flag down, so we're going to check on that flag. We just can't get out of this first quarter. The refs want to get out of the flag game here. They are going to call offensive holding on Dan Moore. So that will march the Steelers back. It's going to get him forced at the 26. So it's going to create 2nd and 24 for the Steelers. And with the clock starting, that will send us to the second quarter. So we are 15 minutes through. And the Eagles are on top. It is the Philadelphia Eagles 10, the Pittsburgh Steelers 3. And statistically speaking, it was definitely the Eagles' core. Statistically speaking, it was definitely the Eagles' quarter. Jalen Hurts in the passing game right now is perfect. Has a perfect passer rating right now. 8 for 8 for 104 yards and a touchdown. Hurts also has 3 carries for 10 yards. Saquon Barkley, 5 carries for 28 yards, including a longest carry of 22 yards. A.J. Brown, 4 for 4 for 48 yards and a touchdown in this passing game. Again, Jalen Hurts, perfect passer rating through the first quarter here, 158.3. Russ could not look worse right now. 2 for 8. Well, I mean, he could look worse. Let's be real about that. 2 for 8 for 8 yards in the passing game. Steelers haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. The only reason they have 3 points on the board is because of 2 key Eagles mistakes, 2 turnovers, 2 fumbles. So those are not great. Quick check around the league. Again, it's still 14-7 over in Detroit. Buffalo still has the lead there. We're tied up in LA. It is 10-all between the Chargers and the Buccaneers. It is still 10-0 in Denver. Denver losing to the Indianapolis Colts. And then it is 10-0 in Arizona. All of these games are in the second quarter. Eagles had an opportunity to clinch the NFC East today with a win and some help. That help had to come from the New Orleans Saints, who lost by a point. It was 20-19 in the favor of the Commanders. The Eagles needed the Commanders to lose or tie, and the Saints, on their final drive, scored a touchdown. Went down the field, scored a touchdown within the final 2 minutes. That's what set it up for 2019. The Saints went for 2 for the win, and were not able to get it. So we're back in the second quarter. Russ takes a snap, quick throw, and is incomplete. Or it is complete. I apologize, but it is well short of the first down marker. It's only going to be up to the 22-yard line, and that would be Calvin Austin. So that'll bring up 3rd and 18 for the Steelers. So 3rd down, still 2 sticks. We've got Russ in the gun. We have a back to his right. That's Warren, the back. Russ takes the snap, back looking. Pressure coming. Russ hit as he throws, but that is going to be caught right at the line of scrimmage and going nowhere, holding on for dear life, is Zach Bond, keeping Warren from breaking free there. So that is going to bring up a 4th and 15 situation. He got about 3 yards there. Took a whole bunch of Eagles to try to keep him from breaking 3. Zach Bond holding on for dear life. Nakobe Dean came in for help. Moro Ojomo got the hit on the quarterback, and that is going to send the punting unit on. Corliss Waltman is the punter, and that's going to get booted. Cooper DeJean is going to field that and gets into Steelers territory. Gets down to about the 46-yard line. That got fielded at the Eagles' 33-yard line. So Cooper DeJean getting a solid 22-yard punt return, and the Eagles will start with their best field position of the day. 13:40 left to play in the first half of this game. Eagles still on top 10-3. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. Love to hear from you over the course of this game. So the Steelers have no earned first downs this game. They actually have no first downs at all. Like the only technically because it was a fumble on a punt return, really was not a drive. The Steelers have not had their only drive that statistically so far has counted more than 4 plays, or counted 4 plays or more, was the drive that immediately followed the fumbled punt return, where the Steelers kicked a field goal. So that's the only drive that has statistically run longer than 3 plays. Every other drive so far for this Steelers team has been a 3 and out. So definitely something to be appreciative of. The Eagles defense is holding the Steelers to not a whole lot. So we are coming back from the commercial break. It is 13:40 left in the first half of this game. Eagles on top 10-3, and they are starting from the Steelers' 45-yard line. It is pistol formation for Hurts. Takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to get dropped right around the line of scrimmage. Initially, it looked like it was going to be a loss, but he was able to pick up a yard on that, so it will bring up 2nd and 9. It's actually still going to be 2nd and 10, so we're back in pistol formation for the Eagles. Now Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley's going to pick up about 3 before he's brought down, so it's now a 3rd and long. It's about 3rd and 7. Gets up to the 42-yard line. So now we have Hurts lining up in the gun, back to his right. That is Barkley. Devontae Smith wide out to the near side. Hurts takes a snap. Quick throw. A.J. Brown caught. First down. Inside the 30. Down to the 25-yard line goes A.J. Brown. And the Philadelphia Eagles have a first down once again. Down to the 25-yard line. That was a 17-yard pickup. Brought down by Damontae Kazee. And now we have Hurts lining up in the gun. We have an empty backfield. Hurts takes a snap. Back, looking, throwing, and nearly picked off, but incomplete. Could not hold on to it. Begging for a flag is Porter and could not get it. He was looking for A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts trying to draw the PI, and both players were involved in contact there. So, good no call by the officials, because that would have been bad for anybody involved. Second and 10. So now we have Hurts in the gun. We have Kenny Gainwell lining up to his right. Ball's on the Steelers' 25-yard line. Hurts takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. He's throwing. That's going to be Devontae Smith. Gets inside the 20, down to about the 18-yard line is where the refs will mark him out. So it's going to bring up 3rd and short, a 3rd and 3 situation for this Eagles team. They have to get to the 15-yard line of the Steelers. And we are hitting the 11.5-minute mark in this second quarter here. So now we have Hurts in the gun. We have an empty backfield. Hurts sends a man in motion. Takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. He's got some time. He throws, and that is Kenny Gainwell inside the 10. Down inside the 5-yard line goes Kenny Gainwell. And we're approaching the 11-minute mark here. It is going to be first and goal from the Steelers' 2-yard line. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles try to brotherly shove it in. They've got 4 they've got 4 plays to do it. First and goal from the 2. And we do have an injured Steeler on the play. That's going to be Dante Jackson. So the clock is stopped with 10:53 left in the first half here. He's down right around the 2. Steelers trainers tending to him. All right, we are back from the commercial. Dante Jackson has been brought off the field. It looks like he was able to. It definitely did need the card. I didn't see whether or not he was accompanied. Didn't see whether or not he got off on his own power. Hopefully he did. Hopefully he was okay. We definitely don't like injuries here. It doesn't matter who they're by or who they're for. Yeah, he is walking off on his own power, so. Again, that's always good. So they'll check him out. Again, hopefully he's okay. It is first and goal for the Eagles. The Eagles have had 9 first downs this half. And 191 total offensive yards. The Steelers have not had anything going offensively. So it is first and goal from the 2. The Eagles will not try to brotherly shove it. Hurts is in the gun. We've got Kenny Gainwell to his right. Hurts takes a very high snap and is going to have to keep it himself, and they're going to lose a yard on that. That was a bad, bad snap. Hurts and Kenny Gainwell both were going after that. That was a rocket. Hurts had to play a little volleyball just to get there. Had to use every inch of his 6 foot, whatever size, to be able to get up there for him. So they're going to try this again. It is second and goal. Statistically, it is no gains. So second and goal from the 2. And the Eagles the Eagles are taking their first timeout here as the play clock is winding down to nothing. So that is the first charge timeout for either team. While we're in that timeout, we're going to take a quick look around the league. Again, the game of interest for Eagles fans is the Buffalo Bills versus the Detroit Lions. The Bills are up 21-7, but the Lions have the ball at the Bills' 9-yard line, and it's 2nd and 4 over there. That game is in the final minutes of the first half. So just something to be mindful of there. It is a few other games of interest. Indianapolis Colts versus Denver Broncos. It is 10-7 over there in favor of the Colts. That game is more important for the Steelers than anything else. That game also in the final minutes of the first half as well. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 2. Ball on the 2-yard line. Hurts is in the gun. We've got Kenny Gainwell to his left. We're going to try this again. Hurts going to take the snap and keep it himself, and is going to have to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage and maybe pick up a little bit. Yeah, it's still statistically no gain for the Eagles, so that brings up 3rd and goal from the 2. So we're inside of 9.5 minutes here. Saquon Barkley still on the sidelines. We got Kenny Gainwell in the game. Hurts in the gun. Gainwell to his right. Devontae Smith goes in motion to the far side. Hurts takes a snap. Back, looking, throwing, caught. Devontae Smith, touchdown, Eagles. Hurts throwing with pressure right there. Throws a dime to Devontae Smith. And the Eagles extend the lead. It is now 16-3, pending the outcome of this extra point. Another little crossing route there, too. These cross routes are not something we would have seen at this point in last season. Jake Elliott on for the extra point snap. Hold kick is up, and it is good. With 9 minutes and 7 seconds left to play in this first half, the Philadelphia Eagles extend the lead to a 2-score lead. It is 17-3 in their favor. Again, just poking around at some of the other scores around the league here. The Lions just narrowed it over there in Detroit. 3:01 left to play in the first half of that game. It is the Bills 21, the Lions 14, after a Jared Goff touchdown. So again, that's the most important game to Eagles fans that's not being played in Philadelphia. Then the Indianapolis Colts on top of the Denver Broncos 10-7. The Colts, if the Colts lose this game, then it doesn't matter what happens in the Eagles game. The Steelers will have their ticket to the playoffs punched. Arizona, 10-3 over the New England Patriots. All these games are in the second quarter. And then the LA Chargers, 17-10 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dante Jackson is questionable to return to the game. That Eagles drive was 9 plays, 45 yards. Took 4 minutes and 33 seconds of game time. And again, the Eagles really just, except for those couple of mistakes, except for those couple of fumbles, the Eagles have outplayed right now the Pittsburgh Steelers substantially. We'll see how the Eagles defense, whether they're able to keep that performance up, how the Steelers respond to this latest touchdown. Braden Mann gives this the boot, and that is going to get downed out of the back of the end zone. So the Steelers will take over at their own 30-yard line with 9:07 left in the first half of this game. Before the game today, Tom Brady is the color commentator. Had a little bit of a fun interaction with Brandon Graham on the sidelines of Lincoln Financial Field. Brandon Graham kind of snuck up behind him and strip sacked him one more time. Brandon Graham, known for the strip sack in Super Bowl 52 of Tom Brady. We have Wilson in the gun. We have a back to his right. Wilson takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. He's going to throw across the middle. That is complete for a first down. It goes number 15, Skoranek. Ben Skoranek, and that is the first first down for the Steelers so far this game. Gets up to the 47-yard line, so it's a 17-yard pickup brought down by Nakobe Dean, and it will be a first down. 8.5 minutes left to go in this first half of the game. Wilson's in the gun, back to his left. Wilson takes a snap. He's going to keep it himself, runs to the near side, does break free, gets a first down, or not the first down, gets just shy of the first down marker. I apologize. We do have a flag down, so we're going to check on this flag here. Might be some discussion about the hit. Wilson was sliding there, so technically it was a forward slide, so he gave himself up, and then Cooper DeJean. I'm sorry, that was Reed Blankenship, my apologies. Hit him, but it might have been some head-neck contact there. Gonna see what the officials decide here. Yeah, they will call unnecessary roughness on Reed Blankenship for that hit. Which, I mean, again, I can't really blame them. So that is a 15-yard penalty. Does get the Steelers up to the Eagles' 30-yard line, so... Yeah, there was contact to the head neck area, so I can't really blame them. They're supposed to be calling that every time. So now we have Russ under center. Warren deep in the backfield. Russ takes the snap. Quick dump off to Warren. Warren's going to get some positive yards there. Gets about 5. They're actually only going to credit him 4, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 6 from the Eagles' 26-yard line. Now we have Wilson lining up under center. Back in the backfield. 2nd and 6. 7.5 minutes left in this first half of the game. Wilson takes the snap. Hands it off to Warren. Warren is, that's Najee Harris. Harris is only going to pick up about 3 of the yards they need. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 2. 4 yards. 4 of the yards they need. So 3rd and 2, and it's time for the Eagles defense to get another one of those big 3rd down stops. Wilson in the gun. Warren to his left. Kind of a bunch formation to the far side. Now we have a man in motion to the near side. Wilson takes a snap. Wilson, pressure coming, is going to roll out to his right, and he's going to run for the first down. So he picks up the first down and not a whole bunch else. So that is the first 3rd down conversion that the Steelers have had. It is 1st and 10 now from the Eagles' 19-yard line is where he got marked out of bounds. Yeah, that is definitely a first down there. All right, so Wilson is in the gun. We have a back to his right. All right, Wilson takes a snap, and Eagles players were looking for a false start before that play happened, but that did not go. Only gets a yard there. It goes Warren. Darius Slay down on the ground right now. That's not good. Hopefully he's okay. Eagles trainers coming in to tend to him. Second and 9 from the 18-yard line. We're in a commercial break right now. Darius Slay immediately gestured over for the trainers, so. He knows something's not right. Clock has stopped at 5:36 left in the first half of the game here. Quick check around the league. Again, the most important game right now is the Bills, who are holding on to a 7-point lead over the Detroit Lions. It is 3rd and 1 at the Lions' 1-yard line for the Bills, and the Lions have taken their first time out of the half. So, 1:53 left in the first half of that game. And the Bills just committed a false start, so it's going to be a little bit harder of a third and goal situation. That'll march them back to the 6. Definitely let me know your thoughts about this game so far. Let me know in the comments. Love to hear from you. And again, if you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. So far, this Steelers drive has 6 plays for 52 yards, 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Those 52 offensive yards. Again, this is the longest drive so far the Steelers have had. Looks like Slay kind of got dinged up there. A little bit of friendly fire. All right, so it's 2nd and 9 for the Steelers. Ball's on the 18-yard line of the Eagles. Russ is in the gun. We got it back to his right. Russ takes a snap. Back. Pressure's coming. Russ is going to escape the pressure. Takes off himself. Slides, hoping to draw another foul. But he's going to slide short of the first down marker, so it's going to be at about the 10-yard line. It is 3rd and a very short 1. We are inside of 5 minutes left to play in this game. Or in this first half of this game. So, Wilson, under center, takes a snap, QB sneak, first down. We're approaching 4.5 minutes left in this first half of this game. It is 1st and goal for the Steelers. Eagles will get the ball to start the second half. So now we've got Russ under center. Najee Harris deep in the backfield. Wilson takes a snap, quick dump off to Harris. Harris is going to get dropped behind the line of scrimmage and no gain. Actually, probably going to be about a loss of 1 there. Yeah, it's going to be a loss of 1. Brings up 2nd and goal from the 9. So Wilson's going to line up under center. Najee Harris deep in the backfield. Wilson, play clock winding down, sends a man in motion, takes a snap. Fakes the handoff to Harris. Back looking, pressure coming, throws, caught right around the line of scrimmage, but nothing going as Cooper DeJean drops Van Jefferson immediately. So that's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 9, and a big 3rd down stop needed right here. So far today, the Steelers are 2 for 7 on 3rd downs. Both of those 2 coming on this drive. We are inside of 3 minutes left in this first half. Wilson lines everybody up. Back to his left. Play clock winding down. Wilson takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. He's throwing. And that is going to be caught for a touchdown. Caught for a touchdown. C.J. Gardner-Johnson tried to pick it off, but could not. Wilson does connect to Pat Freiermuth. And that is going to give the Steelers their first end zone sighting. And so that brings it up to 17-9, pending the outcome of this extra point. Boswell on to kick it. Snap, hold, kick is up, and it doinks off the right upright, but it is good. So with 2:34 left to play in the first half of this game, the Steelers have narrowed it back up to a touchdown. It is the Eagles 17, Steelers 10. And I have to check something here. I apologize. Thanks for your patience there. Sorry about that. Had to address something there really quickly. 2:34 left in this first half of this game. Eagles will have a chance to go down the field. And again, the Eagles will get the ball to start the second half of this game. So they have an opportunity to score before and after halftime. And the Steelers kick it away. That's going to get fielded about a yard shy in the end zone, brought out, gets up to the 20, goes Gainwell, gets up to the 25, up to the 30-yard line, and that is where the Eagles will take over. So it was a 32-yard return because he fielded it about 2 yards shy in the end, 2 yards deep in the end zone. So ultimately, not much better than if they had let the touchback go. Looks like Jalen Hurts has a taped up left ring finger there. Hurts is in the gun. Gainwell to his left. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell's going to pick up a bunch there, gets about 3. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. So the ball is on the Eagles' 33-yard line. We do have a timeout that's going to be taken by the Steelers here. So clock is stopped at 2:22. Update in Detroit, the Bills tried a 24-yard field goal with Tyler Bass. It was no good, wide right. So the Lions hold on there. There's a minute 20 left in the first half of that game. I believe the Lions get the ball to start the second half over there. Right now we're back from the timeout. It is 17-10. 2:22 left in the first half here. Hurts in the gun. Gainwell to his right. Play clock is winding down. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking. Pressure is going to come. Hurts is going to run. Hurts is going to get back to the line of scrimmage and not much else. So that'll bring up 3rd and 7 from the Eagles' 33-yard line. That will also take us to the 2-minute warning. So that is where the Eagles stand right now. So we will get the commercial break going here. 2 minutes left in this first half of the game. The Eagles are on top by a touchdown, hoping to get something going for more. So the Lions get quickly down into Buffalo territory. It's 2nd and 10 over there at the Bills' 34-yard line. They're inside of a minute after a couple of after really it was a big pass down to Sam Laporta for 22 yards. Then a couple of passes to Amon-Ra St. Brown. So they are knocking on the door of the end zone there. They're knocking on the door of points, at least, in that game. Other games going on. It is 13-3 for the Arizona Cardinals, New England Patriots. That game just went into halftime. It is 10-7 over in Denver. Indianapolis Colts. It actually just changed now to 13-7. Indianapolis Colts just scored a field goal there with 6 seconds left in the first half of that game. So that game about to go into halftime. And then it is 17-10 in Los Angeles in favor of the Chargers. So the Buccaneers on the losing end of that game for the moment. That game is about 30 seconds away from halftime as well. The Buccaneers just scored a field goal. Most important games for the people who are watching this one. So for the Eagles, again, the most important game is the Buffalo Bills-Detroit Lions game, where hopefully the Bills are able to defeat the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, the Indianapolis Colts game matters to Steelers fans because since Miami lost earlier in the day, they lost to Houston 20-12. If the Colts lose to the Broncos, the Steelers will have punched their ticket to the playoffs. And I believe that it was I'm going to double check the scenarios, but I believe that game was yeah, that is a playoff berth only. They cannot clinch their division or anything like that. They are at a playoff berth only scenario for the Steelers. So Hurts is in the gun, back to his left. And we have a false start. So that's going to make it a little bit harder because it's going to bring up 3rd and 2 sticks. They got Lane Johnson for the false start. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 12 for the Eagles following the penalty. Ball on their own 28. Eagles have to get up to the 40 for a first down. We have Hurts in the gun, back to his left. That would be Gainwell that's in. Man in motion. Hurts takes the snap. Back. Looking. Hurts is going to roll, and Hurts is going to get sacked. And that was not what you wanted to have happen there. And it's going to be 4th down. As a loss of 12. Hurts was brought down by TJ Watt. And it looks like the Eagles got away with some face mask there. We have a stoppage. Pittsburgh's going to take their second timeout of the half. So we have a minute 26 left in the first half of this game. So Pittsburgh trying to preserve a bunch of clock to see if they can try to get this game tied up before halftime. TJ Watt was going for the punch out on that sack. Wasn't really going for the sack itself. He was going for the punch out. But TJ Watt already has 5 tackles with 2 sacks. Already has a forced fumble in this game, too. Eagles are on to punt it away. Braden Mann gives this a nice booming kick, but that's going to actually take a Steelers bounce. It's going to fall to a rest at the Eagles' 46-yard line. So, not the best punt in the world. Actually, it was not a boomer. It was about 29 yards, and Mann knows it. Down by Jeremiah Trotter Jr. So that hands the Steelers a short field with a minute 17. Russ, under center, takes a snap, quick throw, and that is going to be fumbled. It's going to be recovered by the Steelers, but Freiermuth was there, does pick up a first down. Clock is running. We're at 60 seconds left in this first half. Wilson in the gun, back to his right. Wilson takes a snap. Back looking, throws, and that is going to be caught. And that is going to bring up second down. Stays in bounds as Freiermuth, so that's going to bring up a 2nd and 4. Now we have a stoppage. He does not hold that ball. That is an incomplete pass. We're going to get a booth review here. Yeah, he does not have control of that football. He doesn't do what's called surviving the ground. So since Freiermuth was going to the ground, he has to survive. He has to maintain control of the football through that initial contact with the ground. Since he doesn't do that, based off of how I'm looking at this, the booth is probably going to, New York is probably going to overturn this and say that it is going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Steelers. But it does stop the clock. So they're going to have to take an extra look to make sure, okay, when did the clock actually stop here? Okay, so it is going to bring up a 2nd down situation. They reset the game clock to 56 seconds following the incomplete pass. So it will be 2nd and 10 for the Steelers. Clock is stopped at 56. Ball is on the 33-yard line. Wilson in the gun, back to his right. Wilson takes the snap. Back, looking, and he's going to get sacked. He's going to get sacked way back behind the 40-yard line by Nolan Smith, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 21 from the Eagles' 43-yard line, and that will force the Steelers to use their final timeout of the half. So the clock is stopped now, 48 seconds. It is 3rd and 20 from the Eagles' 43. Eagles hoping for a big 3rd down stop here. Steelers hoping to keep this drive alive. Wilson in the gun, back to his right. Wilson. Play clock is winding down. Takes a snap. He's back. He's looking. He does a quick throw. It is complete, but is unable to get any yards after the catch, really. He goes number 19 there. That will cause the Eagles to take a timeout. Stops the clock with 41 seconds left. That's Calvin Austin there on the reception. So it was a 12-yard pickup, which isn't great, but the Eagles are able to keep it from being a first down. So it's going to be 4th and 8 from the 31-yard line, and that's where the Steelers will attempt a field goal. Probably going to be about a 50-yarder in that range. It's going to be a 49-yard attempt. Boswell on to kick it. Snap, hold, kick is up. And it is good. So the Steelers not able to come away with a touchdown after the good field position. But they are held to a field goal. It is the Eagles 17, the Steelers 10. It was a bad snap. Snap was not great. Boswell was lucky to get that one off. Quick check of around the. Actually, I'll save that until. I'll save that for halftime. We got 37 seconds left in this first half here. Eagles have one timeout. They could try to get themselves into some good field goal range. Maybe try a couple shots. Try to put something together before halftime. The Eagles are going to take over, so we will see what is needed here. 37 seconds left again here. Saquon Barkley doing some workouts on the sideline. Hopefully he's okay. That's going to get fielded, brought out to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Up to about the 33-yard line, up to the 35 is where Kenny Gainwell is finally going to get brought down. That is where the Eagles will take over. It does take a good chunk of time off of the clock, though. So it's 1st and 10 now from the Eagles' 35-yard line. Eagles have just 28 seconds to move the ball down the field into Jake Elliott range. Ball's on the 35. 1st and 10. Hurts is in the gun. Back to his left. Devontae Smith in motion to the near side. Hurts takes a snap. Back. Looking. Pressure's coming. Hurts is going to get sacked, and that is, again, not what you want to see here. This is a bad decision. This clock's winding down. The Eagles are probably just going to take this into halftime. Hurts is running off to the sideline. Yeah, this is going to go to halftime. They're not running another play. So we are at halftime. It is 17 to 13 in favor of the Eagles. Eagles will have a chance to try again because they will get the ball to start that first half, or that second half. So, again, that quick check around the league I was going to do before we waited until halftime. So again, most important game right now for the Eagles is the Bills versus the Lions. The Bills are on top of the Lions 21-14. Then we have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Denver Broncos. That's the next most important game to people who would be watching this game, Steelers fans. If the Colts, if the Lions lose to the Bills, then the Eagles and the Eagles win today. The Eagles have a chance at taking over the number 1 seed. The Colts need to lose to the Broncos for the Steelers to punch their ticket to the playoffs if the Steelers do not win today. Which obviously Eagles fans are hoping that the Steelers lose this game. But right now the Colts are winning over there. It is 13-7. The LA Chargers are on top of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 17-13. All these games are at halftime. The only game that is active right now is the Arizona Cardinals on top of the New England Patriots, 13-3, with 11.5 minutes left in the third quarter over in that game. So let's talk stats here, because this was definitely a tale of two quarters here. So it was first quarter, all Eagles. Second quarter, Steelers coming back with a little bit of a vengeance there. Jalen Hurts, I can't really complain about his performance. 12 for 13 in the passing game, 146 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, passer rating of 153.0. So he's doing pretty well right now in the passing game. Just a couple of interesting decisions I'm not particularly fond of. Continuing the theme of holding onto the ball just a touch too long, especially towards the end there of that, and especially on that last play of the half. Eagles generally have not put a whole bunch together in the run game. Saquon Barkley, 7 carries, 31 yards. We haven't seen a whole lot from him, so I'm going to have to look into whether or not he is in fact injured. He was definitely doing some workouts on the sideline, so it's possible we could see him again after halftime. But yeah, Jalen Hurts, 5 carries for 10 yards. Kenny Gainwell, 3 carries for 9 yards. The only incompletion that Jalen Hurts threw was on a target to A.J. Brown, which was a solid no call in terms of PI there. I know the Steelers were looking for PI. I think that ball was thrown to try to draw the PI, and ultimately, a whole lot of nothing there. Russell Wilson had a whole lot of nothing going in the first half. The Steelers didn't have anything going for them in the first quarter, really. It took them... they had their first 6 drives were all 3 and outs. Their first 5 drives were all 3 and outs. It was 3 plays. All of them were 3 and outs except for one, which ended in a field goal. And then they put together their 11-play, 55-yard drive that resulted in the touchdown. And then they closed out their possession with a 5-play, 14-yard drive that ended in a field goal. So there was that. Things definitely statistically evened out in the second quarter, and that's been a theme for the Philadelphia Eagles lately. That has been a theme for them because they're just kind of they're playing well in some of the quarters and not so well in other quarters. A couple weeks ago, if you were an odd numbered quarter, it was great for the Eagles, and the Eagles seem to have kept up with that trend at least in the first half of this game. It would be great to see them play another complete game for this team. But at one point in time, the Steelers had no first downs, which Say what you will about that. Eagles are 4 for 7 on third downs, which is, while not great, is definitely better than what the Steelers are putting together. And I believe the Eagles have only had to punt once. I have to let me double check that. Yeah, the Eagles have only had to punt once in this game. The big thing right now is the turnover bug is very heavily going after the Eagles right now. The Eagles have fumbled the ball twice, which is not great. It just isn't. I've turned the ball over on fumbles twice. So they fumbled on their second drive of the game. Jalen Hurts on a run just had the ball punched out. And then same thing on a punt return, Cooper DeJean had the ball punched out as well. So really was not great for anybody involved there in that regard. And the Eagles are not do not play very well when they are behind in the turnover battle by 2 or more. So hopefully the Eagles are able to buck that trend and or get some turnovers of their own. The Eagles have already forced a fumble on the Steelers, just no turnover off of it. Eagles have done a decent enough job of getting to Russell Wilson. He's been sacked twice so far this game. But yeah, just looking at everything going right now, the Eagles first quarter really just dominated the Steelers, and the Steelers had a more even second quarter, but they're working on that right now. So again, like the Eagles have more than double the total net offensive yards than the Steelers have. So that's something. Again, just a big thing for them right now. But again, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, or in the chat. I'd love to hear from you over the course of this game. And if you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel out. Another thing that's killed the Eagles right now has been penalties. The Eagles have been penalized 3 times for 30 yards. Steelers have been penalized twice for 20. Both teams have had a little bit of both teams were dinged for 15-yard penalties once this game. So yeah. So yeah, that's kind of where things stand. Again, the Eagles had an opportunity in this game to. The Eagles had an opportunity in this weekend to clinch the NFC East title. They had that opportunity if they win today and get some help. Obviously, the goal is still to win today because that keeps the Eagles in contention with for the number 1 seed in the NFC. But which gives obviously a first round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But in order for the Eagles to have done that, first they need to clinch the NFC East, and they needed help if they wanted to do that today. So the Commanders needed to defeat the New Orleans Saints. The Commanders needed to lose to the New Orleans Saints, and the Commanders did not do that. 20-19 final score. The Saints scored a touchdown on their final drive of the game. Period. But the Saints opted to go for 2, and they were unable to convert on that. So that was that. So that rules out the opportunity for the Eagles to get the NFC East title this week. But we will definitely. Again, we'll just give a quick update on the playoff picture here. So, as things stand right now, the Lions would have the number 1 overall seed with a 12-1 record. Again, all that depends on the outcomes of these games. Right now, the Lions are losing, so if that game ends, or if that game keeps going the way that it is going right now, the Lions would fall to 12-2. The Eagles would rise to 11-2, assuming that this game keeps going the way that it is. Again, we still got 30 minutes of football left to play in Philadelphia, so I don't want to put the cart too much before the horse. But just an update on the where things stand with the playoff picture. So Seattle, it would be very good for Seattle to lose tonight. Seattle has the Sunday night game, and then Tampa Bay is the number 4 seed as it stands right now because somebody has to win the NFC South. And then Minnesota, Green Bay, and Washington right now are the 3 wild card teams, assuming everything holds as is. So that is where things stand, playoff picture wise. But yeah, obviously the big things to watch are, at this point, the Eagles to clinch the NFC East would have to win, or it would have to win next week. That would be their big target there, because the Eagles would then take a 3-game lead over the Washington Commanders and hold the tiebreaker with 2 games left to play. So that would effectively end the Commanders' hopes of being the NFC East champions. The Cowboys have been eliminated from not from playoff contention, but from division title contention. Cowboys have no chance to do that. They are at 6-8, and they are very likely going to fall out of contention for the playoffs as well. Coming back, again, the Eagles are going to start the third quarter with the ball. It is the Bills' ball right now, 21-14 over there in Detroit. And the Bills actually just scored a touchdown, so that is good news for the Eagles, because the Eagles need the Lions to lose this game. It is 27-14 over there. So the Eagles need to get things going. The Eagles need to come back here, and they need to come out swinging. Again, passer rating for Jalen Hurts is darn near perfect right now, and hopefully he's able to keep that going here. Good news for Eagles fans as well. Saquon Barkley is on the sidelines with his helmet on, so whatever injury commentary was speculated, and I did speculate a little bit of it, to be fair. He is probably going to be in for this drive. So Steelers kick it away, and the Eagles will take a knee in the end zone for a touchback. So that is where the Eagles are going to get things going on their own 30-yard line. And we have 15 minutes of play left in the third quarter. Eagles got some rest. Got everything going there in the locker room. We'll see what halftime adjustments they make. We have Hurts lining up in the gun. It is a pistol formation. Man in motion. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to pick up 2. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Eagles. Ball on the 32-yard line. Hurts is in the gun. Back to his right. Devontae Smith wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking. He's going to roll to his left. He's going to take off. He's going to get up to the 35, up to the 40-yard line for the first down. runs out of bounds at about the 41. So that's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Eagles. So little Jalen Hurts scramble there. But the Eagles keep things going here. We have a 1st down for this Eagles team. Hurts is in the gun, pistol formation. Now Hurts is going to make a couple of adjustments. We've got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, who are wide out to the near side. Smith is in the slot. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley's going to get up to the line of scrimmage, picks up about 3. Gets up to about the 44-yard line, so it is a 3-yard pickup. Going to bring up 2nd and 7. We got 13 and a half left to play in this 3rd quarter. Hurts in the gun. Barkley to his left. Bunch formation to the far side. Eagles going north to south in Lincoln Financial Field. Devontae Smith in motion. Hurts takes a snap. Quick throw to Devontae Smith into Steelers territory. Down, gets the 1st down right around the 48-yard line of the Steelers. So, Eagles back in Steeler territory. The Eagles again just keeping things going here. Hurts in the gun, back to his right, man in motion. Hurts takes the snap, fakes a handoff to Barkley, throws, caught, Grand Calcaterra, 1st down inside of the 35-yard line before he gets pushed out of bounds. And we do have a flag down, so we're going to check this flag here. Devontae Smith doesn't look happy. Yeah, they're going to call him for pass interference, so that negates the 1st down call. It is 1st and 20 now from the Eagles' 42. I'm not sure I like that. Not sure I agree with that PI. He bounced off of a Steelers receiver into another Steelers receiver. And Nick Sirianni is not having it. Dante Jackson for the Steelers is out of the game. So now we have Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Now, sends Barkley in motion, takes a snap, back, looking, has some time, running out, throws away. He was looking for Devontae Smith. We do have flags down here, so we're going to check on those flags. I imagine this is not going to go in the Eagles' favor here. Yeah, it is, it's offensive holding. They, got Tyler Steen on that, so that is going to, that penalty is being declined, though, so it will keep 2nd and 20. So Hurts now in the gun. We got Kenny Gainwell into his left. Ball's on the Eagles' 42. A.J. Brown in motion to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back. Looking. Hurts is going to run. No, he's going to throw. It's going to be caught open. Devontae Smith for the 1st down. So that's going to be about a 20-ish yard pickup for the Eagles. Gets up to the Steelers' 38-yard line. And the Eagles have a 1st down. So, Hurts in the gun, back to his right. Hurts takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Gainwell. He's going to take it himself. He's going to slide down right at the line of scrimmage. So, whole lot of nothing there. We are inside of 11 and a half minutes left to play, though, in this 3rd quarter here. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 at the Steelers' 38-yard line. No gain on that. That was Peyton Wilson on the stop for the Steelers. So Jalen Hurts now in the gun. Barkley to his left. A.J. Brown in motion to the near side. Hurts takes a snap. Back, looking, throwing. Caught Devontae Smith over the middle. It is not a large gain. It's going to be about 4 there. Gets up to the 34-yard line, so it is 3rd and 6. It is a 3rd and long situation. We're going to see what Kellen Moore decides to dial up here. Kellen Moore, of course, the Eagles' play caller. Hurts is in the gun. We have an empty backfield. Hurts takes a snap. Back, looking, throwing. Caught Devontae Smith, but he is going to be short of the first down marker by a couple yards. Doesn't even get past the 30 on that. So that's going to be 4th and 2 from the Steelers' 30-yard line. And now the question is, if you're Nick Sirianni, do you go for it on 4th down here? They are going to send the field goal unit on, so it is going to be it's a 48-yard field goal attempt on 4th and 2. Jake Elliott, snap, hold, kick is up. Has the distance. It is good. So the Eagles come out of halftime. And they tack a field goal on to their lead. So it is the Eagles 20, the Steelers 13. We do have a flag down, so we're going to check this flag. So it's going to be personal foul on the Steelers. They're going to ding Montravius Adams. And that's actually going to negate the touchdown. So the Eagles are going to keep the ball. And it's going to be 1st and 10 now from the 15. So it is no play, no field goal. But the Eagles have the ball 1st down and 10 at the 15-yard line of the Steelers. Hurts is in the gun, flanked by backs. Devontae Smith in motion. Hurts takes a snap, fakes it to Barkley, throws to Devontae Smith behind the line of scrimmage. Smith is only going to get maybe a yard out of that operation. I don't know what play that was, but that was a backwards pass to Devontae Smith. Hurts was running down the sideline, taking off towards the line of scrimmage, but threw it backwards to Devontae Smith. So that was not a good play design there. But it does pick up a yard, so it is 2nd and 9. We have Hurts in the gun, Barkley to his right. Devontae Smith is in the slot to the near side. Now he's going to go in motion. Play clock winding down. Hurts takes a snap. Back. Looking. He's going to roll to his left. We have a flag down. Hurts throwing for A.J. Brown. Really uncatchable out of the back of the end zone. We're going to check on this flag here. I think it's going to go against the Eagles. So it is holding again on Tyler Steen. So not a great look for Tyler Steen today. Dinged for holding twice on this drive. That is a hold. So it's 2nd and 19 now after the penalty. Ball's on the Steelers 24. Hurts in the gun. Back to his right. That would be Gainwell. Play clock winding down. Hurts takes a snap. Hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell's going to get about 2 or 3 on that, depending on where they spot the ball and how they statistically count it. They're going to say he got up to the 23-yard line, and it's 3rd and 18. So that is a 1-yard pickup for Kenny Gainwell. So that's not even 2, which, not sure if I agree with him on that, but it's 3rd and 18, so big 3rd down for the Eagles here. 3rd down, 2 sticks. Eagles have to get down to the 5. Hurts is in the gun. I'm sorry. Yeah, Hurts in the gun. Takes the snap. He's back. He's got some time. He's running out of time. He's going to run to his right. He's going to throw the ball away. It was in the general direction of Devontae Smith as well as Jahan Dotson, and they will say that Jahan Dotson was the target. Pass breakup to Patrick Wilson on that, but we're going to send Jake Elliott out for reals now. So it's going to be a slightly shorter field goal. It's a 41-yarder. Elliott. Snap, hold, kick is up. And this one is also good. So, if there's an advantage to this, took some more time off the clock. That was a 13-play, 47-yard drive that took 7 minutes and 8 seconds, the first 7 minutes and 8 seconds of this third quarter here. Eagles still back on top by extend their lead now to a touchdown. It is 20-13 in their favor. Quick checking around the league here. Again, most important game we're giving you updates on is the Bills versus the Lions. The Bills have the ball. 7:41 left in the third quarter here. It is 3rd and 12 over there in Buffalo. Again, Bills have the ball on their own 38. They are on top by 2 touchdowns. Second most important game for the teams playing in this one that's happening right now is the Indianapolis Colts. They are currently leading in Denver. They are defeating the Denver Broncos right now, 13-7, 7:22 left in that game. New England is being walloped by Arizona, 16-3 in a game that I'm sure nobody cares about. And then Tampa Bay is on top of the LA Chargers, 20-17. That's the first lead that the Buccaneers have had in this game or in that game. So. Landon Dickerson is questionable to return following an injury. Hopefully he is okay. We do that I'm sure explains why Tyler Steen's in the game. Yeah, that drive was a drive that was slowed by penalties hugely there. So that was, again, it was a 13-play, 52-yard drive ultimately by the end of it. So it netted 47 because the Eagles were penalized cumulatively, or penalized quite a bit there on that drive. So, 7:52 left in the third quarter of this game. And Braden Mann is on to kick this away here. And that is going to get Sale out of the back of the end zone or it's actually going to get fielded in the end zone, but down in the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers will take over on their own 30, and it will be great to see if the Eagles' defense is able to rise to the occasion once again and continue and put together the dominating performances that they were putting together in the first half of the game. The Eagles quite significantly controlled the pace of the first portion of the third quarter here. It was a long first drive for the Eagles of this second half. Wilson under center. Warren deep in the backfield. Wilson takes a snap, quick dump to Warren, back to Wilson, back looking, throwing, and was that caught? That was caught. That was a long catch. Number 19 there, Calvin Austin there. It was a 31-yard pass off of a little flea flicker kind of operation, a little trickery, which I wasn't... and honestly, it was a really impressive catch there by Austin. Zach Bond did everything that he could to try to keep that, or to get back into coverage there. But it was a really good pass. Really good catch there. Wilson under center, back in the backfield. Wilson takes the snap, hands it off to Warren. Warren is going to pick up a good chunk there. Gets just shy of the 30, down to about the 33. Ball is in Eagles territory, by the way. Yeah, no, that ball was in a spot where only Austin saw it. Bond hadn't turned around at all. So it's 2nd and 4 now. Ball's on the 33-yard line. Wilson under center. Man in motion. Najee Harris in the backfield. Wilson takes a snap, hands it off to Harris. Harris is going to get the first down and picks up a good chunk there. So he's going to pick up about 7. Gets up to the 26-yard line, brought down finally by Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith. That is going to bring up a first down for the Steelers at the Eagles' 26-yard line. Wilson under center. Back in the backfield, man in motion. The back is Najee Harris, who's in the backfield. Wilson takes a snap. Quick dump off to Harris, and that's going to be a fumble. That's going to be a fumble, and the Eagles might have this. The Eagles might have this. Yep, the officials are saying it's Eagles football. That's a fumble, and they're saying that the official signaled that the Eagles had it. That was recovered by Darius Slay. They're showing the replay now. This was just a bad toss. It was a quick toss over to Najee Harris by Wilson. But it was a backwards toss, so it is a live ball if he can't catch that. And Darius Slay falls on it, reels that in, and the Eagles take over after forcing a turnover. They are crediting the fumble to Russell Wilson, so because Harris never really had control of it. So, hey Rod, I just saw you there. I'm sorry about that. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you hanging in there. .550 left to play in the third quarter here. Eagles take over. That was a 4-play, 44-yard drive, 2:02 taken off of the clock, but it ended in nothing. Yeah, Rob, make sure you're driving safe. I don't want you crashing here, but yeah, it's no worries. I appreciate you hanging on for the 10 minutes. That's always helpful. And I'm glad I'm able to give you those updates here. All right, so Justin Fields is questionable to return to the game. I didn't even know Justin Fields was in the game. But Justin Fields is questionable to return to the game. Quick updates around the league here. Again, most important game for Eagles fans. Buffalo Bills are on top of the Detroit Lions right now. 5:17 left in the third quarter in that game. The Lions have the ball on their own 15. It's 2nd and 23 over there. Lions are down by 2 touchdowns. It's 28-14. Over in Denver, the Indianapolis Colts are holding on to a field goal lead over the Denver Broncos, 13-10. That game has about 4 minutes left to play in the third quarter in that game. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are holding on to a 23-17 lead over the LA Chargers, and in a game that absolutely nobody cares about, it is 16-3 over in Arizona. They are on top of the New England Patriots. We're showing the replay right now. It looks like Wilson was trying to switch a few things around. And yeah, that didn't wind up going well. All right, so 5:50 left in the third quarter here. And it is Eagles ball. Ball's on their own 26. Hurts is in the gun. We've got Barkley to his right. Hurts takes the snap. Back. Looking. Pressure coming. Hurts throws. That is through the hands of Johnny Wilson. That's going to bring up second down and 10 for the Eagles. Through the hands of Johnny Wilson. Mike Tomlin had some words for the refs, but it doesn't really matter. That ball was live. All right. Hurts is in the gun, back to his right. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, has some time, does a quick throw over. A.J. Brown caught, gets up to about the 31-yard line before he's forced out of bounds. That is going to force a 3rd and 5, so it is 3rd and short. $5:20 left to play in the third quarter here. Hurts has the call. He breaks the huddle. He's going to line up in the gun. We've got Barkley to his right. Bunch formation to the far side. Now A.J. Brown's going to go in motion to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking, throws, caught Devontae Smith. That is a first down for the Eagles. Just narrowly across the first down marker goes Devontae Smith. It was a 6-yard pickup brought down by Patrick Wilson. And the Eagles have a first down, and we're inside of 5 minutes left in the third. Hurts in the gun. It's a pistol formation. Devontae Smith is wide out to the near side. A.J. Brown is wide out to the far side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley has a lane, gets up to the 45-yard line of the Eagles. So, Barkley gets up to the 46. It's a 9-yard pickup, 2nd and 1 for the Eagles. They're just going to keep things moving here. So, pistol formation. Hurts is in the gun. Barkley behind him. A.J. Brown wide out to the near side. Hurts makes a couple of changes. Takes a snap. Hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to roll out to the left. Does have a first down. Gets into Steelers territory. Gets brought down around the 49. We're inside of 4 minutes left to play in the third quarter here. And at the 3.5-minute mark right now. Eagles right now have double the first downs of the Steelers. Have more than double the total offensive yards of the Steelers. Hurts in the gun, takes a snap, going to keep it himself. Gets down to the 40, down to the 35, to the 30, slides at the 26-yard line. They'll say he started the slide at the 27, and that's where he is marked down. So they're saying it's a feet first slide at the 27. That's where he is. That's where he gave himself up. So 1st and 10, pistol formation for the Eagles. Now Hurts is making a couple changes. Inside of 3 minutes left to play in the third quarter. A.J. Brown is wide out to the near side. Devontae Smith wide out to the far side. Hurts takes the snap, fakes to Barkley. Back, looking, has some time, throws across the middle to Barkley. That is a completed pass. Yes, that is a completed pass up to the 22. So it's a 5-yard pickup brought down by Patrick Queen. 2nd and 5. We're at about 2:15 left in the third quarter. Hurts in the gun. Barkley to his right. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to get to the first down. Gets to about the 16-yard line. So a first down for the Eagles. And the Eagles are in the red zone. No worries, Rod. Thanks so much for stopping by here. Appreciate you hanging out. Minute 40 left in the third quarter here. Hurts is in the gun. We've got a pistol formation. Devontae Smith wide out to the near side. A.J. Brown wide out to the far side. Man in motion. Hurts takes the snap. Hands it off to Barkley. Barkley's only going to pick up a yard on that. Brings up 2nd and 9 for the Eagles. Ball is on the Steelers' 15-yard line. Barkley was brought down by Cameron Hayward. We've got 60 seconds left in the third quarter. 2nd and 9. Hurts is in the gun. We have a back to his right. A.J. Brown wide out to the near side. Devontae Smith in the slot to the near side. Hurts takes the snap. Back looking. Pressure's coming. Hurts dodging the pressure. Rolling to his right. Hurts' pressure is finally closing in, and he throws it away incomplete. He was throwing it in the general direction of Devontae Smith, but nothing there, and really just out of bounds. So it's 3rd and 9, and this is not good. Because we have Lane Johnson, who's now being tended to by trainers. Now, he's walking off the field on his own power, which is always good. Like, Johnson was never on the ground. He just had some folks come in to, the trainers came in to take a look at him. Landon Dickerson still on the sideline. Helmet off, so that's going to send Fred Johnson out in Lane's place. Yeah, Landon Dickerson still has his helmet off, but he's out of the medical tent just kind of chit-chatting. All right, we have Hurts now in the gun. Kenny Gainwell to his left. Ball's on the 15-yard line. It's 3rd and 9. 37 seconds left in the third quarter. Hurts takes the snap. Back, throws to Gainwell. Gets down inside the 10. First down inside the 5, down to the 1-yard line goes Kenny Gainwell. And it is 1st and goal for the Eagles. 20 seconds left in the third quarter here. We will probably not see another play. We'll probably see this time expire here. Yep, 5 seconds for 3, 2, 1, and Kenny Gainwell goes to the sideline. As we approach the final 15 minutes of play, the Philadelphia Eagles are on top by a touchdown and knocking on the door. It is 1st and goal for the Eagles. Eagles 20, Steelers 13. So, third quarter was fine. Eagles marched down the field both times. Got a field goal out of the first drive. Their second drive is ongoing. But all these drives were long, sustained drives, which is exactly what you want if you're the Philadelphia Eagles right now. The Eagles had the ball for a grand total of 12 minutes and 58 seconds in the third quarter, which is an insane statistic. The Steelers had the ball for 2:02. The one drive that the Steelers put together, which ended in the Russell Wilson backwards pass that was dropped, treated as a fumble, live ball, Eagles recovered. That's the drive that we're in the middle of right now, the Eagles' response to that drive. Again, important games going on around the league for fans of both teams. The most important game for Eagles fans that is going on around the league right now, the Eagles had an opportunity to clinch the NFC East, but they needed help from the New Orleans Saints earlier in the day. That help did not come, so the Eagles cannot clinch the NFC East this week, but they can still remain in contention for the number 1 overall seed, depending on how the outcome of the Lions-Bills game is. And right now, the Bills are absolutely dominating the Lions right now. They're on top of the Lions by 3 scores with 3.5-ish minutes left to play in the third quarter. So, 2 teams that could be vying for their respective conference championships, but the Lions right now are significantly on top of, or significantly behind the Bills. They're behind by 3 scores. So hopefully that trend continues for this for the Eagles, because the Eagles need the Lions to lose this game. For the Steelers, the game of interest is the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. That game just entered the fourth quarter. It is 13-10 over there in favor of the Colts. Steelers fans need the Colts to lose. Eagles, we're back, 15 minutes left, lining up for the brotherly shove. Hurts takes the snap, and that we have A.J. Brown signaling touchdown. We don't have refs signaling touchdown. Refs are coming in just a touch shy of that touchdown marker. So there was definitely positive yardage gained there. Lane Johnson is back in the game, by the way. So always good to see him back. But yeah, it was no gain. It was statistically no gain, but it was a long first and goal from the 1 anyway. So it is 2nd and goal now, and the Eagles are just going to try this again. And this time it is in for the touchdown. There is no question about that here, folks, that Jalen Hurts is in for the touchdown. No question there. Jalen Hurts gets the brotherly shove touchdown, and the Eagles are now on top of the Steelers 26-13. Again, pending the outcome of this extra point here. So Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up. Veers right, but it is good. Stays in. And so the Eagles, with 14 minutes and 17 seconds left to play in this game, extend their lead. It is the Eagles 27, the Steelers 13. That was a 13-play, 74-yard drive that took 6 minutes and 33 seconds. It was the final 6 minutes. It was the final 6 and change of the third quarter. And then the first... It was really the final 5 minutes of the 5 minutes 50 seconds of the third quarter, and then the first couple of seconds of the fourth. So the Eagles driving down. That drive was a much cleaner drive than the previous one. (14-17) left, and things are churning there for the Eagles. The Lions did just score a touchdown. It was a Jared Goff pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown, 66-yard touchdown pass. So that's a big play for the Lions. There narrows the lead by the Bills a little bit. Bills still up by 2 scores with a minute 41 left in the third. Again, most important game for the Eagles fans happening right now that is not played by our boys in Philly. So, if the Eagles win today and the Lions lose, then the Eagles and the Lions will be tied for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. I believe the Lions will still hold the tiebreaker due to whatever the tiebreaker is, because it's not going to be head-to-head. I believe it'll be common opponents. No, it'll be Lions will have strength of victory tiebreaker, or the strength of victory tiebreaker, or they currently have the strength of victory tiebreaker right now. So that's where things stand there. Yeah. Jalen Hurts through 3 quarters is 20 for 25 for 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, passer rating of 128.7. So his passer ratings dropped a little bit over the course of this game. He had a perfect passer rating through the first quarter. But Hurts is the biggest thing. Hurts has been sacked 3 times for 20 yards. Hurts also, as a runner, fumbled the ball. So Eagles are kicking this away, and that is going to go out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Dean Blandino hanging out in the back of the broadcast booth as Fox cut over. Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady there providing the play-by-play commentary for Fox. Justin Fields has been downgraded to out of the game. Again, I didn't know that Justin Fields was ever in this game to have an injury report. So, 14-17 left in the game. Steelers have the ball on their own 30. Wilson in the gun, empty backfield. We have a man going in motion to the far side. Wilson takes a snap, back looking, throws. It is caught for a first down. Goes Calvin Austin. So it's a 10-yard pickup, stopped by Reed Blankenship. It's 21-35 over there now in Detroit. 35-21 at the point after was good. Clock is winding, which is, again, the most important thing right now for the Eagles. Wilson, under center, man in motion, man deep in the backfield. Wilson takes a snap. It's a quick throw to Austin. Austin is going to pick up about 6 on that. It's going to bring up 2nd and 4. Gets up to the 46-yard line. 13.5 left in this game. So we have Wilson now coming in, lining everybody up. Wilson's under center. Man in motion. Back in the backfield. Wilson takes a snap, hands it off, and that's going to be a first down. It's going to be a first down, gets into Eagles territory up to the 49-yard line. Goes Patterson. It's a 5-yard pickup brought down by Zach Bond and Nolan Smith. That was Cordarrelle Patterson. So Wilson, under center. It's an I formation. Wilson making a couple of changes now at the line. Play clock is winding down. Man in motion. Wilson takes a snap. Dumps it off. And that's going to go out of bounds right around the 38-yard line, I believe. No, it's only going to go up to the 43. I apologize. It was first and... We do have a flag down, though, so we're going to check on this flag here. They're going to get the offense for tripping. So it's personal foul for tripping on Zach Frazier, the center. And that will march the Steelers back into their own territory. It's going to be 1st and 21 now from the Steelers' 40. tripping is not a penalty you see called often in the NFL, let alone on the offense. Usually it's a defensive foul. But it's 1st and 25 now. Wilson's in the gun. We have a back to his right, man in motion. Wilson takes the snap. He's back. He's looking, throws across the middle. It's tipped at the line, incomplete. He was looking for Freiermuth, but could not find him. Again, it was a little tip there. So it is 2nd and 20. I think the tripping call was a makeup call from earlier. All right, so it's 11:56 now. It's 2nd and 21. Wilson's in the gun. We have a back to his left. Wilson takes the snap. He's back looking. He does throw. It is a quick throw behind the line of scrimmage and does not get back up to the line of scrimmage. That would be Patterson, Cordarrelle Patterson there. It's a loss of 1 on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 22. Bills-Lions has entered the 4th quarter. The Buffalo Bills have the ball. It is 35-21 over there still. 11:20 left in this game. Wilson's in the gun, empty backfield. Wilson takes a snap. Back looking, throws. That is caught, but nowhere near the first down marker. Who is that? That is Mike Williams, the wide receiver. That's going to bring it 4th and 8 for the Steelers, and it is going to send the field goal unit on. So Steelers trying to narrow this lead a little bit there. Not quite 4 down territory. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I apologize. They're sending the punting unit on the field. So Cooper DeJean back to return. And the kick is away. And that is going to take a Steelers bounce inside the 10 down to about the 7. And the Steelers down there. We do have a flag down, so we're going to check on this flag. Referee Alan Eck talking it over with the down judge. They're going to get Nolan Carter, I think, for unnecessary roughness, so that negates the punt. Which is exactly not what you wanted to have happen. And we're stepping into a commercial break. Again, quick check around the league right now while we're in this commercial break here. So the Bills have the ball, 14-15 left in that game. The Bills just called a timeout. They are on top 35-21 right now. The Denver Broncos have taken the lead over in Denver over top of the Indianapolis Colts. It is 23-13 over there. With 12 minutes and 29 seconds left in that game. The Arizona Cardinals are walloping the New England Patriots in a game that nobody cares about, I'm sure. It is 30-10 with 3:27 left in that game, so the merciful thing for anybody to do involved is just let that clock run out. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have finally put the pedal to the metal in their game. It is 30-17 over there on top of the LA Chargers. 8.5 minutes left in that game. Thereabouts. Actually, that just updated. So 7 minutes, 43 seconds left in that game. And again, the merciful thing to do is just let that clock run out. All right, so it was unnecessary roughness on Jalen Carter. So it is still Eagles football. Because the ball... So here's how that works. So the ball was kicked. So once the ball is kicked, it is Eagles football. The turnover happens. So because the foul occurred after the ball was kicked, the Eagles retain possession of the football. They do lose half the distance to the goal. So the Eagles will be starting at their own 3-yard line instead of the 6 where the ball was, in fact, downed. But because of that, so the Eagles have a long field to work with. They've got 97 yards to go if they want to extend their lead. And they have 10 minutes and 29 seconds. And we've seen the Eagles be able to put together long, sustained drives. We saw them do that quite a bit in the last quarter, with both of their most 2 recent drives going 6 and 7, or going between 6 and 8 minutes. But Jalen Hurts will be starting in the shadow of zone end zone, and he will be starting in the gun. We have Saquon Barkley to his left. Eagles have to get out of the end zone area quickly here. Hurts. And now the Eagles are going to get dinged for a false start. That's going to be on A.J. Brown. So that's going to cost the Eagles a yard. It's going to push them back to their own 2. So now Hurts in the gun, back to his left. Hurts takes the snap, back, looking, throws to A.J. Brown, who's getting PI'd all over the place, but nothing there. No call on the PI either, so it's going to bring up 2nd and 11. .24 was on him the entire way. There was no break of contact, nothing to that effect, no play on the ball. 2nd and 11 for the Eagles. 10:25 left in this game. Hurts is in the gun. Back to his left. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to put some distance between the Eagles and the end zone. Gets up to about the 8-yard line, depending on where they spot it, between the 7 and the 8. They're actually going to say he was down at the 6. So, a little surprised by that. But it's 3rd and 6. I'm sorry. No, they're going to say he was down at the 7. It is 3rd and 6 for the Eagles. Inside of 10 minutes left in this game. Again, Eagles trying to churn as much clock as possible, but they need a first down here. Hurts in the gun. We have an empty backfield. Barkley in motion. Hurts takes the snap. Back, looking, throws A.J. Brown across the middle, first down. Gets up to the 20, up to the 25, up to the 27-yard line goes A.J. Brown. And the Eagles are actually going to get credited to the 28-yard line with the 21-yard pickup. Get a first down and keep this drive going. Number 11, always open. And he hauled that one in. So now we have Hurts in the gun. It's a pistol formation. Devontae Smith in motion to the far side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley going to get it beyond the 30, up to about the 32-yard line before forward progress gets stopped. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Again, Eagles letting clock run here. Buffalo has tacked on a field goal. It is 38-21 in their favor. And then again, Denver is on top of the Indianapolis Colts. 24-13. All right, so now we have Hurts in the gun. He's being flanked by backs. Now Devontae Smith goes in motion to the far side. Hurts takes a snap. Quick look over to Smith, and he's going to take it himself. And then he's going to do a quick pitch over to Barkley, who's going to be raiding at the line of scrimmage and turns nothing into a gain of a couple. It's going to be probably 3rd and 3 based off of what I could see. They're going to credit him up to the 36, so it's 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Inside of 8 minutes left to play in this game. So, again, Eagles keeping this drive going, keeping the clock moving. Both teams have all 3 timeouts, so that's not an issue. Pistol formation for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts in the gun, Barkley behind him. Man in motion, Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to get the first down and a bunch more. Gets beyond the 40 to about the 43. And now we have a stoppage here. Clock is stopped with 7:28 left, and because KZ is going off to the sideline for the Steelers, so hopefully he's okay. We don't cheer for injuries here. It doesn't matter for who they are. So it's 1st and 10, balls on the 43-yard line. Clock is back moving here. 7-11, 7-10 left in this game. Pistol formation for the Eagles. A.J. Brown wide out to the near side. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley, and Barkley's going to slip in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of about 4. Yep, loss of 4, gets up to the 39-yard line before Barkley slips. So, a little rough there, but 2nd and 14. Most important thing is the clock is still moving. We are at 6 minutes and 35 seconds left in this game. So Hurts now in the gun. Barkley to his left. A.J. Brown in motion to the far side. Hurts takes the snap. Back. Looking. Has some time running out. Throws, caught Devontae Smith, first down. Inside the 40-yard line of the Steelers, down to the 39. And the Eagles have a first down, and the clock continues to run. So a big first down for the Philadelphia Eagles. So far, this drive has taken 4 minutes and 9 seconds of game time on 8 plays. We're at 5 minutes and 35 seconds left in the game. Hurts in the gun, takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley, who's going to get tripped up in the backfield. Loses a bunch of yards there. It's going to be a loss of 3. So he only gets back up to the 42. But again, the clock continues to run is the most important thing right now. 5:15 left in this game. And rolling. And we're approaching the 5-minute mark here. Saquon Barkley's off to the sideline, so taking a little bit of a breather. Play clock is winding down. Hurts is in the gun. Gainwell to his right. Devontae Smith lines up in the slot to the far side. Hurts takes the snap. Throws, and it is just out of the reach of A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was open, and I think it might have gotten tipped a little bit at the line. We do have a Steelers player who is down. That is T.J. Watt. And he's a big presence on their defensive front, so hopefully he's okay. That would be a big loss for the Steelers. He looks like he's dealing with a left leg related problem. That's where he's grabbing. So again, hopefully he's okay. Clock is stopped at 4:46 left in this game. Quick check over in Detroit. 12 minutes left in the game over there. The Lions just scored a touchdown. So it is 38-28 in favor of the Bills. So it's still a 2-score game over there, but the Bills are only up by 10. So yeah, we're just kind of hanging out right now. Yeah, we're in a injury timeout. 4:46 left. Again, quick check around the league. Arizona, New England has gone final, 30-17. That's your update there. Denver is still leading the Indianapolis Colts, 24-13. So that is a two-score game over there. And the Broncos have the ball, 8:47 left in that game. Again, I mentioned 12 minutes left in the Lions-Bills. And then Tampa Bay is on top of the LA Chargers, 37-17. Again, the merciful thing to do in that game is let the clock run. TJ Watt getting checked out on the sideline. Again, hopefully he's okay. That's a big loss for the Steelers. The Steelers' defensive line really does rely on him. He's been a big presence in this game. 7 tackles, 2 sacks, forced a fumble. He might have actually forced 2 fumbles. No, he forced a fumble. All right. Hurts is in the gun. Empty backfield. 3rd and 13. So 3rd down, 2 sticks. Play clock winding down. Hurts takes a snap. Back looking, throws, caught Devontae Smith. Gets up to the 30. Just an inch shy of the first down marker. Inches shy of the first down marker. Or at least of the unofficial yellow line. They might take a look at it, but it is 4th and 1. Nope, the Eagles are going to line up for a brotherly shove here. So 4th down and 1. Hurts lines up. Trying to draw him offside. And the Eagles will take a timeout with 4 minutes and 1 second left to think over what they want to do here. Or 4:04, I apologize. Or whatever time. It looks like, 4:04 left. Holy cow, Buffalo. 45-28 currently over there. Mac Hollins returning an onside kick 38 yards. And then Josh Allen throws a pass over to Davis for a 5-yard touchdown for the final 5 there. So it's 45-28 now in favor of the Bills. Holy cow, Buffalo. Again, Eagles fans are Bills fans this weekend right now because the Eagles... If the Eagles win and the Lions lose, then the Eagles and the Lions, at least record-wise, will be tied for the number 1 overall seed in the NFC. So I will show you that playoff picture while we're still in the timeout here. So right now, the Lions hold a strength of victory tiebreaker over the Eagles. So just something to be mindful of in that regard. But right now, but assuming that everything pans out, the Lions and the Eagles will be tied. Assuming that things hold right now, the Lions and the Eagles will be tied for the number 1 overall seed. So we'll keep our eyes on these respective games. or on that game specifically here. We are back from the timeout. Eagles thinking over what they want to do here. The ball is inside of the 30. But it is a 4th and inches kind of situation here. So Hurts, they are lining up for a brotherly shove, and Hurts is getting shoved, and now the whistles come in, and I think that, yep, the officials are going to spot him as a first down. So the Eagles hold on. Another successful brotherly shove, and the clock does continue to move here. So it is now 1st and 10 from the Steelers' 28-yard line. We have 3.5 minutes left in this game. And again, the clock is running. So Hurts lines up, initially pistol formation, then Barkley moves to his left. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to turn upfield, gets positive yardage. We do have a flag on this play, so we're going to check on that, obviously. They're going to get Jordan Mailata for holding, so that's going to negate the Saquon Barkley run, and it is going to cost the Eagles 10 yards. T.J. Watt going off to the locker room. Looks like he's walking off on his own power. So it's 1st and 20 now for the Eagles following the penalty. 3:15 left in this game. Eagles have had the ball so far for 20 minutes and 24 seconds. Pistol formation for the Eagles. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Barkley. Barkley is going to get up to the line of scrimmage, maybe, depending on where they spot this ball. Might be a loss of 1. Steelers, I will say again, even though they are probably going to lose this game, they are on the verge of clinching a playoff berth because the Colts look like they're going to lose this game to the Broncos. The Steelers will take their first charge timeout of the half. So the clock is stopped with 3:11 left in the game here. Both teams have 2 timeouts. Again, if you're new here, please feel free to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out. And always feel free to drop your thoughts in the chat. I'd love to hear from you. Again, 2nd and 20 for the Eagles once we come off the timeout here. Mekhi Becton is off on the sideline. Not entirely sure what's going on with that. So now we have Hurts in the gun. We have a back to his right. Hurts takes the snap. Back, pressure coming. He's going to throw. It's caught A.J. Brown. And that's going to get down inside the 30, down to the 25, to the 20. And the ball is loose, and Devontae Smith falls on it. Now, that is a Devontae Smith football, guys. The Steelers are saying that it's theirs. Nope, the officials are saying that it's first down Eagles. That was Devontae Smith's ball from the jump. They can obviously take a look at that, but the Steelers can obviously challenge that because we're still outside of the 2-minute warning. But yeah, no, Devontae Smith, that is very clearly his ball. That is clearly his ball. So that is the 3rd fumble by the Eagles today, but it's not a turnover this time, thankfully. And A.J. Brown is in bounds, so. It is, yeah. We do have a stoppage. The Steelers have taken a timeout. Nope, everything is good. A.J. Brown kind of just loses it. He kind of just throws it. But it is Eagles ball, so that is not a question. A.J. Brown took a little bit of a seat on the bench there. He's going to be walking back out, has his helmet. He was just taking, I guess, a little bit of a breather while the timeout is ongoing. Clock is stopped with 2:48 left in the game here. It is still 45-28 over in Detroit. Bills on top. That game has 8.5 minutes left in that game. The Lions are knocking on the door of a touchdown, though. It's 2nd and goal over there at the 1 for the Bills. So. All right, so they're going to say that. So here's what's going on, because we now have a timing situation. So because there was the fumble, it took time for the officials to adjust or to assess the fumble. They wound the clock, but then the Steelers took a timeout, so there's 3:04 left in the game here. It's 3rd and 1. The Eagles are doing a brotherly shove. That should ice it. Okay, so they changed a couple of things. So replay assist said that A.J. Brown was out of bounds before the fumble occurred. So it was a 19-yard pickup. It was 4th and 1. Eagles did a brotherly shove to get the first down. So it is now 1st and 10 at the 18. That also gave Pittsburgh their timeout back. And now, with 3 minutes left in the game, the Eagles have a first down, and the Steelers took a timeout. So that's where things are. Now we're straight. So Steelers still only have 1 timeout left. This game is over, though. This game is really over. The Eagles need to get it to the 2-minute warning, and then 1 more first down, and they're done. Hurts in the gun. Gainwell to his left. Hurts takes the snap, hands it off to Gainwell. Gainwell is going to pick up about a yard. And there's a clock stoppage, so I believe that means that the Steelers have taken their final timeout. Lions have scored a touchdown, so it is 45-35 in favor of the Bills. 8:02 left in that game. That was a Jahmyr Gibbs up the middle for a yard. Touchdown over there. Again, that game matters to us. 2:56 left in this game, though. 2nd and 9. Eagles still have 2 timeouts should they have any desire to use them. I'm not anticipating that they will. Pistol formation for the Eagles. Hurts takes a snap, hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell is going to pick up a good chunk there, gets down inside the 10 to, they're going to mark him down at the 10. So it's going to be 3rd and 2 for the Eagles. Ball is on the 10-yard line of the Steelers. The Eagles do have to get 1 more play off before the 2-minute warning. Steelers are out of timeouts. So the Eagles will think about what they want to do here, because if they get a first down here on this side of the 2-minute warning, they're going to have to score. Hurts, pistol formation, takes the snap, hands it off to Kenny Gainwell. Gainwell is going to get a first down. That should allow this game to get to the 2-minute warning. No, the officials are saying that he's going to be short. It's 4th and 1 from the Steelers' 9. And now we are at the 2-minute warning. So yeah, he's going to be short. 4th and 1 at the 9. TJ Watt is officially questionable to return. Also, Mekhi Becton has returned to the game. So, a couple injury updates. Quick check around the league. We're in the commercial break for the 2-minute warning. Bills have the ball, 45-35, 7:21 left in that game. It is it is now 1st and 10 at the Detroit 45. Josh Allen just picked up a big 22-yard pass to Knox over there. So that puts the Bills into Lions territory with 7:21 left in that game. The game of import for the Steelers is the Indianapolis Colts Denver Broncos. The Colts are losing to the Broncos 31-13. That game has 3:31 left there. So looks like the Steelers will be punching their ticket to the playoffs because they needed the Dolphins and the Colts to lose. The Dolphins lost in the early block today. The Colts are on the verge of a loss this game. Tampa Bay and LA Chargers just went final. Tampa Bay handily defeated the Chargers 40-17, though it did not look like that was going to be the case in the first half, I will point out. Again, the game of import right now, beyond this Eagles game, is the Buffalo Bills versus the Detroit Lions. That's the important game. The Lions currently hold the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs. The Eagles have the chance to take over that game should the Lions lose this week. I believe they may still have to lose one more game to make it official because of the tiebreaker. The Eagles had a chance to clinch the NFC East title this week. That did not happen because the Eagles needed help from the New Orleans Saints, and the New Orleans Saints instead chose to go for 2. The New Orleans Saints had an opportunity to tie the game up between themselves and the Commanders, and instead the New Orleans Saints went for 2 on the final play of the game, and it was an incompletion. So, brotherly shove now for... Nope, I'm sorry, it's victory formation. Looked like it was... Brotherly shove and victory formation look very similar, but it is going to be... it is victory formation for the Eagles, so they are going to keep this clock moving here. So the Eagles are going to take the game. Eagles are going to take the victory over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Clock is winding, less than 90 seconds left in the game here. Hurts takes the knee. Less than 70 seconds left in this game. Eagles are on a 10-game win streak. They're about to rise to 12-2. And the Eagles have division opponents remaining. Final 40 seconds. Hurts takes the knee. And that does it for this game. Russell Wilson out to congratulate the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Sirianni heading out to shake hands with Mike Tomlin. And this Philadelphia Eagles team has defeated officially the Pittsburgh Steelers. A big matchup, one of the biggest matchups needed for this Philadelphia Eagles team. And they pull away with the victory. Final score 27-13. For the first time in Russell Wilson's career, the Philadelphia Eagles have defeated Russell Wilson. The Eagles will continue their unbeaten streak in Philadelphia over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers continue to have not won in Philadelphia since 1965. The Eagles are poised to take over the number 1 seed, or at least to even their record up with the Detroit Lions at 12-2. The Steelers, even though they lost today, will likely punch their ticket to the playoffs because the Indianapolis Colts are at the 2-minute warning, and it is 31-13 over there, so that game is pretty much over. But there's your playoff picture. As of right now, the Philadelphia Eagles rise to 12-2. And depending on how this Detroit Lions game wraps up, the Lions will potentially fall, or the Eagles and Lions will be tied record-wise for that number 1 seed. So that's where things stand right now with the playoff picture. And the Eagles just have divisional opponents left. The biggest one of which, by the way, is going to be the Washington Commanders. And a win next week will give the Eagles the division. None of the other division rivals have any chance at it. And either way, the Eagles would... So the Eagles would hold the tiebreaker if they win next week. So it's a big, big game coming up next week. But the Eagles really have to win out if they want any chance at that number 1 spot. Because the Lions are not going to give them any breathing room. Because you look at the Lions' schedule left. Because that team does matter. And again, we do want to not get too far ahead of ourselves. The Lions have the Bears next week. That's probably going to be a win for the Lions. And then they have the 49ers and the Vikings. So it's a little bit more challenging with schedule. The 49ers still fighting for a playoff spot of their own. Hoping to get back into the postseason on their end. But ultimately, folks, again, I appreciate you stopping by here. This was this is an important game. It's a good win for the Eagles, as always. I'm going to record a post game, but I want to wait for the results of the Lions game to come out. So I'm going to record that after the Lions game results are known. It was a good win. The second quarter had me concerned, but it was a good win. And that's all that matters at the end of the day, because a win is a win is a win. But folks, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'm Joe Donahue. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you're new here. And thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Joe Donahue. And as always, it's 48-35 now in Detroit in favor of the Bills. They just scored a field goal. And as always, let's go Eagles.